So I'm going away with a bunch of friends this weekend, and we're all staying in one big house. My only request was I want my own bathroom.
You want your own bathroom?
I want an Alexis-specific bathroom. A Guerreros.
But you're also going with your wife.
Yeah. Not one for me. She don't have to go get her own. Okay. We'll share one, but it's a Guerrero-specific bathroom.
Got it.
You know, I don't want to have to wait. I'm not going away to a dorm room.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Realistically, most people are going to be waiting for you.
Well, 100%.
That's really the bigger issue.
I don't want to know that there's people waiting for me while I'm 100% naked doing number 2 for a solid hour when I wake up.
Okay, yes. For any new listeners, you've just learned a very specific detail about Alexis and
we used to have to share hotel rooms, so you know this firsthand.
Right.
I hogged the bathroom for quite a bit.
Yes,
in the morning.
I wasn't watching him naked.
No. You know what? I also do like to leave the door open in case you want to have a conversation. I'm in there for a while, you know?
Wow, what a kind gesture.
You know? But Christian was like, we don't need to be talking right now. It's cool. Hey, bro, text me. Stop FaceTiming.
We talk enough on the pod. We're good.
Yeah, I feel like twice a week for an hour each. I think we got a relationship. So that was my only request. Apparently, another couple is coming with a child, and they wanted their own bathroom. I said, go get your own home. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Go get your own little cabin.
I don't care what this kid needs.
Right? I'll tell you what I need is this kid not to be screaming while I'm enjoying the last half hour. The second half of my number 2.
The climax of,
exactly.
of the number 2.
Well, sometimes we have stoppage time.
Okay, well, all right. Well,
every once in a while we got penalty shootouts. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy.
And were you granted that, or you don't know yet?
I actually don't want to go away with anybody. I'm not a big go away with a group of people and stay in the same place kind of a guy.
Okay,
I like my own home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like. You know, it's what did you say? Like my home is my. Safe. It's not safe.
Your home is your temple.
Temple. Yeah, temple wasn't what I was thinking, but I need my own. I need my own biodome. You know what I mean? Like, this is me. This is my space.
Yeah, there's a certain part of you that is like, I got to do my, I need to be gross and private. I can't have everybody.
I can't be walking around in my underwear farting and then see your kid. You know what I mean? That's going to be like, I feel like I've
now we both walking around in our underwear and farting? Nah, bro.
If the kid's doing it, I'm doing it. You know?
Well, good. I hope you have a good time, Alexis.
Everything else I'm enjoying, although it's a lot of like, oh, we'll go to the lake. And I was like, you guys go to the lake.
Damn, bro. Okay, that's how you know you got too many white friends,
this is
bro.
It. This is really it.
They want to.
By the way, I did not agree to this.
They want to hike.
I'm not doing that.
They want to go to the lake. I get it, bro.
You know Mike Albanese.
Yeah, not the homie.
He's going to be cooking. That's going to be fun.
Okay.
He's a great cook. But yeah, the wives got together and decided this was what we should be doing.
They went behind your back.
Bro, they really did.
Wives conspired.
Bro, me and Don are just going to be quiet driving upstate. Just so you're full. I'm going to be saying that a lot.
Okay. Well, we hope you have a good time. Well, we're having a good time today because we have an exciting episode. We had an incredible guest. We're going to be joined a little bit later by Ariel Helwani.
Hey, what network is he on? Just like us.
Yahoo Sports. Ariel Helwani, the MMA journalist. Journalist would probably be the exact word, but he just seems more than that. He covers that
sport.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it's like journalism doesn't feel like the right word for what he does. Okay,
bro,
my
he's
man.
A king without a crown, bro.
The uncrowned brand is now a part of the Yahoo Sports family.
Sounds like a fun way to say uncircumcised. You know what I mean?
I guess so. Yeah.
Our producer immediately took down time codes. Like, okay, we're gonna have to...
wait, I don't know. Do we believe it? It's not necessarily
It's a medical term. Yahoo, Google, everyone.
Okay. Congrats either way, regardless of for the podcast and maybe the bris. Who knows what happened? Yeah. So Ariel will be joining us in just a little bit, and we obviously got to talk some USMNT. The roster came out, and we got a bunch of stuff to cover as well. So,
are you excited about these games?
No, I'm excited about the possibility.
No,
I'm not excited. I mean, the friendlies. I mean, it'd be weird. I mean, if I said like, yeah, man, I'm so excited.
I got a lot of money on these friendlies.
These friendlies against Canada and New Zealand.
Mateo needs new teeth. You feel me?
It's like, damn, he's only had his for like 3 months.
Damn, what happened to his teeth?
Why do they have to be gold?
Imagine a baby with a grill Why have I never seen that?
Walking around the apartment farting? Come on.
If he's got wearing a grill, I'd be like, yo, it's his place, baby. Whatever this kid
This is the king of this castle.
100%.
No, so I know I'm not excited. I'm excited about the possibility of Mauricio Pochettino being announced. So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Are you still confident that this will happen?
I mean, if the amount of despair and betrayal I would feel if it doesn't is like, I don't even want to think of it that could even happen.
Right. With both of the fathers we grew up with, though, it's a possibility. I think we both know it's a possibility.
Yes, no. Have we been built for this? Yes.
Are we prepared to handle that situation? 100%.
You merely adopted fatherlessness. I was born in it.
Literally raised in it. You know?
Okay. No, so but
did I ever show you this? Did I ever show you the pictures my mother sent me?
It's gonna be real sad. What are you gonna do here?
No. Go ahead. You keep talking.
Well, if you're gonna show me, we're gonna have to end up putting them on the show.
We can put this on the show.
Okay, it better not be your dad hugging you or something.
Oh no. I'm gonna give you a little context. CBS, imagine that. It does exist.
It happened this one time.
My CBS is. I remember I did that little documentary in Europe. All of our episodes are coming out. So my CBS asked, can you send me pictures of you as a kid? Because you talk a lot about your youth.
Sure.
And my mother sent me a picture of the four of us. My sister, myself,
my
mother, and my father. Do you notice something about that photo?
Yeah, hilarious. They literally put a quarter over
my mother
your father's
covered picture. Can you go to the ISO?
Yeah, we'll get the photo
we'll
up
put
there.
it on. My mother covered his face with a quarter. And then also, here's my birth photo.
Hilarious.
My mother covered. And I said to my mom, I'm like, bro, why'd you cover his face? And she's like, do you know how hard I worked to raise you? I'm not here not going to be the part of your documentary.
No credit.
Forget your success. Has nothing to do with him. Remember the woman who called this podcast?
Yes, the other day,
should we call her and ask her? Should we put the quarter over it?
I'm just would love to talk about that. The funny thing is, you've never seen the movie Coco. No. So the movie Coco is basic about this little boy who wants to play music, but his grandmother and family, they're like a no music.
I think I know what you're talking about.
No music household because it's
a musical.
It's not a musical. It's there's songs in it, but it's not a musical.
Sounds like a musical.
It's a children's movie.
Yeah. Sounds like a children's musical.
But
it sounds like the name. But go ahead, you were saying.
They got some bangers on there.
I didn't say it didn't slap. I'm just saying it's a musical.
But in the movie, the father or the grandmother's father, the reason she's so adamant about it is because he left the family because he wanted to play music. And in all the photos, they rip his face off of all the photos, and he never gets to actually see his grandfather, or great grandfather, or whatever. And then that's exactly what that reminded me of just like.
And then they reveal who the father is at the end is Usher.
I mean, what a wild plot point for this Mexican story about this little boy who loves music.
Damn, Usher was freaky. Now we know his origin story.
Okay, so that's what that reminded me of. So a couple of people will care about that.
So Pochettino
they're here for the USMNT chat. That's why people.
When are we going to remove the quarter from Pochettino's face on the announcement?
So we'll get to that, but I just want to talk about the roster real quick because the roster came out for these two friendlies, and there's a couple talking points and a couple things that I don't know if there are reasons to be concerned. I know one of the Anthony Robinson, he I heard he didn't get called up or didn't want to be called up because of essentially just to give him a break because he hasn't had a break.
Which is fair. These are friendlies. This isn't Nations League or anything that is semi-competitive or serious matches. These are legitimate friendlies. Do any names stand out for you? Diego Cochin at Barca B. That's new.
This one, the only problem I have with it is just like seeing how Zach Steffen has played in Leagues Cup and how he's played for Colorado. feel like he's earned another opportunity, just at least to get looked at again, get into camp.
Just go to camp. Wear that USA shirt again.
Exactly.
Let him know there's potential.
We're still thinking about you. We haven't completely forgotten.
Feel good.
So obviously it's cool to see a young goalkeeper get an opportunity, be brought into the fold.
Right.
And I guess because of the nature of, Stefan losing the job to Matt Turner, maybe there's we don't want to have any disagreements about who's the number one.
Right.
Maybe that's the case. But you call in 4 goalkeepers. I think
Zach probably should have been one of them. I can see that, but this is cool for Diego coaching. Again, Barca B, not the highest level in the world, but Barca, that's a good name. Right? We're all pretty proud of that.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. Marlon Fossey plays in France, if I'm not mistaken.
Who has he been? I've seen the name before. Has he been called up?
I believe this is his first senior call-up. I could be wrong, but that's a new name, stands out. I know we spoke to Mark McKenzie on the morning show today, and he said he played with Fossey at Hank, I believe. So
Genk.
Not
Hank.
I think it's pronounced Hank.
Really?
Yeah. G's are H's. So at least that's the way it's been explained to me. So again, if I'm wrong, email Christian. So that's another name that stands out. Christopher Lund, I love this guy.
He's been great.
Posy vibes. He's got a big smile. He's happy for everyone. Runs up and down that left flank really, really well. Caleb Wiley, he's on Chelsea player, but on loan at Strasbourg.
And he had his either first assist just the other day, a great ball.
Hey, how about Austin Trusty? Got the move to Celtic. That's big.
And he was at Sheffield, and
Sheffield had a rough one.
Had to do a lot of work.
That was a rough one.
Out there defending.
They gave up 100 goals in the season, bro. That was a rough one.
Not lovely.
Chris Richards, we already know, he's solidified. Mark McKenzie, I think he'll be given a good opportunity. Tim Ream is interesting.
Yeah,
at his age.
It feels a little bit like, haven't we moved on from, especially after he signed with Charlotte? There's a sense like, maybe they're done with.
It felt like, all right, your time's up.
I'm fine with it. I'm not. It doesn't bother me.
Are we allowed to play press conference moments, Carter?
Yes. Those are.
Yeah. Did you see Tim Ream answer the question about Pochettino?
To Taylor Twellman?
No, it was like in the press conference with the step and repeat behind them.
I didn't. I could look it up.
Yeah, look it up. The reason I bring this up is because Balogun is sitting next to him. And this happens to us a lot, me and you. This is it. I want you to watch this, and I want you to strictly look at Balogun's face. You know those moments where you forget you're on camera?
Okay, yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So, I don't know why this looks this way.
It starts off with the color looking very weird.
Okay.
Okay, actually.
You can listen to it. It's a pretty nondescript answer about them sort of waiting in limbo about Pochettino.
All right. So let's see what this is like.
And just look at Balogun's face.
All right.
As much as everybody else. We were updated a few weeks ago that the search was was moving in a positive direction, and at this point that's where everybody is at.
He looked like he mad at somebody,
Feel and
then you could see the moment where he realizes he's on camera. I think he sees the camera there, and there you go. Now he's like, and I'm back. But before that, he was just like.
Just
completely lost.
Either thinking about something else, just stank face.
Right?
You know what I mean?
Just like, it smell like feet up there. Oh my god! What?
He's like, why are we talking about this?
For real.
I'm talking about something else.
My G ain't even here yet, dog. Is all you want to talk about? Oh my god! I can be seen.
Yeah. So I mean, look, this feels like a. It just feels like everybody's being sort of tight-lipped about.
It also feels like we're sort of in this weird purgatory of like,
do
these call-ups even matter? You know what I mean? He hasn't been announced yet. Are we really that excited to see everyone? I think there's all right, for me, it's like, all right, if the Pochettino thing is like 90% done, right? That means, we know my guy's going to be watching, right? So who are those players that can make a big leap? If you're Christopher Lund, you're thinking like, okay, if I play well, given the opportunity, maybe I could get in the next camp. But what about those players that could get themselves in the starting lineup in the first 11? I'm looking at a Haji, right? I'm looking at a Josh Sargent. You know what I mean? I think maybe Gio Reyna kind of can show a little bit. Yunus Musa hasn't had the best start, to his Serie A career last season or really this one. Not the greatest. Maybe he can level himself up.
But I agree. I think everybody's going to go in. Look, it feels like a blank slate, and they'll try to get in the good graces. From
Right.
everything,
You're back to zero, bro. This is a good opportunity to be like, yo, you could really solidify yourself.
yeah, from everything I'm hearing and hearing players talk about having worked under Pochettino, and it's the standard is very high and the demands are quite high. I'm hoping he sort of helps change the mentality of like even these guys when they go back to their clubs to have this, this type of manager with the pedigree and to be able to, we've seen what
you mean, like not be so soft?
I don't even know. I don't even think it's necessarily that, but it's more about whatever he does to sort of unlock what, abilities for his own players at clubs. Like
it's the demanding excellence every time you do something.
Exactly. I mean, and it's tougher for him to implement that being a national team coach because you're not with these players that much. So it's going to be an interesting thing. Also for Pochettino's, from his perspective, like how do I implement these ideas on these players that I have for such a limited amount of time?
I kind of agree with you. You know what I'd love to see? Like, pick any player. Pick Christian Pulisic because this scenario is probably not him.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it is. Say Christian Pulisic is Pochettino's watching an AC Milan match, and he sees Pulisic take a play off. A bit of a scowl on his face because maybe Rafa Leao didn't do something with the pass he gave him, or Alvaro Morata shot wide again on an empty goal. And he throws his hands up and is a little lazy to track back. If not just Paulo Fonseca, your manager's watching. Maybe he can forgive you a little bit here and there. He's got you 5-6 days a week, right? But let's say your national team manager sends a text being like, yo, when you're done with training, give me a call. Damn, hey, man, you can't be taking that time off. That's important. You're a leader on this team. Everyone's watching. If you take a playoff, everyone's going to take a playoff.
Yeah.
Demand excellence. How much longer are you staying after training? Blah, blah. If you know that's happening, and honestly, that might be the type of care we need at this point to reach that next level. If that's happening, bro, he's going to be putting everybody on 9, on 10.
Yeah. Do you think that happened? Do you think that's like overstepping a boundary for the other manager, that club manager? Do you think it's like when stepdad tries to tell the mom?
I didn't have one dad. You think I had a second dad?
But
damn, man.
Because it might be a little bit of like, Fonseca might be like, yo.
How many quarters does my mom need?
but he might tell Pochettino like, yo, bro, this is my guy. Stop putting yo.
You get him 6 weeks out of the year. I get him the rest.
Exactly. He's mine. Okay.
Damn. That's like the first time your baby mom's new boyfriend takes the kid somewhere. I'm the one who takes him to basketball games. You got soccer and baseball. Stay in your lane.
You got to set these boundaries,
I can see that being maybe an overstep boundary, but I can also understand.
I would say
I can see both scenarios.
Yeah,
being correct.
Look, I think Pulisic would appreciate that kind of, the manager is watching.
The demands have to be so much greater. I think the positive that came from Berhalter was, remember, when Berhalter took over, that was a youth project after we missed out on 2018, man. Trinidad and Tobago caused a lot of heartache, And this was like, all right, how do we get these kids to be fully involved in the senior team, almost rapid rate of development, especially from like boys to men,
Yeah.
How do you get that to happen quickly? There's a little bit of coddling. I'm your homie. Look at the sneakers I'm wearing. There's a little bit of that. Now these need to be like grown men.
Yeah.
And you need someone who's going to be like, yeah, man, coddling time is over. And honestly, I think a lot of the players are like wanting for that. Some of the things you've heard is like, yeah, man, the demands are going to be even higher. Like, we're ready for that. Christian Pulisic came out, someone who defended Berhalter's rehire, and said, yeah, man, the levels have to go up. We have to go up a level. This is now exactly what's going to be demanded of them. I'm kind of excited for that. I think Pochettino will be that guy. But will he ever show up? When? When will we find out?
What we're hearing now is that it should be either within. I've heard this week. I've heard
a lot of people are saying this week. I've heard there's potentially an event happening today while people are listening.
Exactly.
To this,
yeah. So anything can happen. Like any
worst case scenarios that happen right before we launch this episode. That's worst case scenario.
So I mean, they're starting because it's taking so long. It's feeling like now there's a little bit of doubt. It's feeling like the news about him potentially being hired maybe got out a little too soon.
Yeah. Paul Tenorio did say, though, that as far as he's heard, and that's the guy I think I trust the most.
I agree. Yeah, Paul Tenorio of The Athletic.
Shouts The Athletic. That it's pretty much all said and done. It's just a little bit of here and there, just the final pieces of figuring out exactly where the chips fall with this previous contract.
Crossing the I's, dotting the T's.
Bro, we've all done it before, okay?
Okay.
Shaking babies and kissing hands. You know it.
So hopefully we hear that news soon. And like I said, it would be insane if it falls through or something like that, because it would highlight such a tremendous, like,
imagine that happens and then they rehire Bro Halter again, just a third time.
I swear he's the right guy.
Yo, the king is back, baby.
So we have to get to our convo with Ariel Helwani and talking about he's joining obviously Yahoo, but obviously he's also a soccer fan.
Big soccer fan. You're about to find out just how big.
Yeah, exactly. And we settled a little bit of beef.
Yeah, Christian got problems, bro.
I still don't have a lot of problems with people, but Ariel Helwani is someone I have to talk to.
Helwani and Christian Polanco, 2 men enter, 1 man leave.
Okay, we enter the octagon. All right, it's gonna be crazy. All right, so here it is. Here's our convo with Ariel Helwani.
We've got another member of the family.
Okay, this is not, we're starting to, the everybody's showing up to the dinner table, to the family function.
We got here early, which is very non-Latino of us, might I add.
we started putting the plates down,
right?
getting
Rest of the group chat's like, yo, what's the vibe? And I'm like, yo, get here now.
We are the vibe.
We are the vibe. But this is absolute honor to have this gentleman on our show. You probably know him for the Ariel Helwani show. The absolute amazing Ariel Helwani, everybody.
Ariel, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. And yes, you guys are the trailblazers. You are the pioneers. I was waiting for you to just let me know how things were, and then I jumped ship as well. So thank you for that.
Of course. I was like, water's warm, baby. Jump on in.
Okay. Ariel, look, I'm gonna be transparent, and again, because you are also part of the Yahoo Sports family. I don't want this to appear hostile, but we got to get it out of the way.
Get it out of the way, bro.
Okay. We got to be.
Hold on.
Because
I'm curious as to where you're going. I think I know where you're going.
I think where
let's
I'm
see,
going.
Let's see.
I don't know if you noticed the shirt he's wearing.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so happy.
I'm
so happy.
Just the beef out of the way, because and let's give a backstory here, because a few years ago,
yes,
we went to Liverpool, to Goodison Park, to film a documentary. Alexis is an Arsenal fan. I'm an Everton fan. And we went to Everton versus Arsenal at Goodison Park.
The Cooligans Classico, if you will.
The Cooligans Classico is what we call it. So we went to go kind of, I fully expected to be like, oh, we're going to film this little documentary. Everton are going to lose and it'll be part of the story. I was completely wrong. Everton win against Arsenal and turn things around, and after having a very, very difficult season. But while we were doing that documentary, we were interviewing lots of people around Liverpool. One of the people we interviewed, the wonderful Meatball Molly
legend
McCann.
Yeah.
Love her.
And, so I wasn't, at the time, I wasn't super familiar with her. I had, I told you beforehand, I don't really watch MMA that much. But
she's a big name fan.
Yeah. And she's the biggest toffee in the world. And now I'm a diehard Molly McCann fan. I'm Meatball Molly all day, every time. Make sure to watch her fights and everything. And your name came up in conversation.
That's so funny.
Because we're talking about Everton. We're talking about...
Were you guys having a conversation about turncoats? Or
Yeah.
Okay. We just have the casual trader conversation.
Benedict Arnold,
Benedict
Ariel
Arnold.
Helwani.
So as she tells, at the time, I don't know if the change had already happened, but at the time, you were an Everton fan, to my knowledge. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, cool. More Everton fans out in America. You'll have to see it. Maybe one day I could get to connect with Ariel Helwani.
Well, you're doing it now, but there seems to be a change.
But then
Ariel.
about maybe 6 months or a year after that, I'm watching a clip of Ariel Helwani and, involved in his MMA beef with so-and-so and henceforth and whatever. I'm watching it. I'm entertained. You're a very entertaining figure in the combat sports world. And one of the things I see on your show is the sticker on your laptop is a Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
sticker.
What happened?
And I'm like,
Back
what?
to back European Cup champions, 1979, 1980. Shout out to Brian Clough.
you must have
Something
been.
you guys wouldn't know about. Yes, keep going.
You must have been on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, I loved it. It
during
was
those
great.
games.
It was great.
So I
You'll
see
never sing that. Keep going.
okay. So I see
Champions of no, please go ahead.
Okay. So I see the sticker there, and I'm like, wait, is this the same Ariel Helwani that
Sure
Meatball
is.
Molly was talking about? There's no way. This is
Absolutely no,
Die
same guy.
Hard Toffee.
Maybe this is a dude from Quebec City that's saying.
Nah, same dude.
So that's it. That is. Let's get to the bottom of it. Because how could this happen? I made my decision in roughly late 2015 to support Everton Football Club. I have maintained that supported them, that loyalty.
He's remained in hell,
in
but somehow you
in
have
the
moved on.
nightmare that it is
Listen,
to
I
be
know.
a toffee.
I can understand. It's unfathomable. It feels like a very weird thing. How could you do this? How can you jump? All that stuff. Almost as unfathomable as being up 2-0 with 86 with 4 minutes left in the 86th minute and losing to Bournemouth. Almost as unfathomable as something like that. But you wouldn't know anything about that. Okay, so then let me explain. So.
Before you finish, unfathomable is not a word that Everton fans.
Yeah.
Oh, so
No,
we
I know.
fathom.
Yeah.
We fathom
Yeah,
so
no,
much.
listen.
Yeah, no,
I saw it. It
capitulation
was
is a part of their
fantastic.
glossary.
Very
It was
familiar
fantastic.
with fathoming.
And so, okay, so here's my journey as far as soccer is concerned, so I can explain it one more time. I grew up in a family that adored soccer. My family is from Lebanon. My mom's side is from Lebanon. My dad's side is from Egypt, and so like that was the sport that they played. When we would have birthday parties, we're playing that in the backyard and all that. My uncle played like semi-pro. He would show me all his cool tricks. Great. We didn't really grow up following a team. I grew up in Montreal. I grew up kind of following the World Cup, if you will. So 1994, we're in Boston. I actually went to see Argentina, Nigeria in what ended up being Maradona's last World Cup match. That's the one where he was like taken off the field in the middle of the
Crazy.
game. Yeah. I'm sitting there as a 12-year-old at Foxborough Stadium. Like, so I had a great appreciation for, the beautiful game, but I didn't have a club per se. I will say in the early 2000s, I really fell in love with the French football team. I loved Zidane. I loved Thierry Henry. I love that style. They were cool. So, all right, like, do I like Arsenal? Do I not? Henry's cool. He's wearing gloves. He's wearing mittens while he's playing. Like, this guy seems cool. But I never really had a club. I am someone who's very passionate as far as the teams that I support. I adore the Buffalo Bills. I adore the New York Knicks. I adored the Montreal Expos, who don't exist, who haven't existed for 20 years, by the way, and I still follow them. So if anyone wants to question my loyalty to teams, I follow a team that has ceased to exist for the last 20 years.
Yeah, they haven't
All
lost. Haven't lost all
Yeah,
year.
undefeated, undisputed. All right. In 20, I believe it was 16, on my show, the MMA Hour, my producer and I, Eric, we did like a bit where we very clearly were jumping on the Leicester City bandwagon and saying we were Leicester City fans since we were kids. We could Jamie Vardy party and all that stuff, but like we were definitely trying to like troll people and say like I've been a fan for my whole life. Leicester City till I die, right? The Foxes.
Right.
I think they won in 2016 or was it 2017? One of those,
I think
right?
2016.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Unbelievable
Arsenal finished
season.
second. I remember. It seems to be all we do now.
Very clearly, I was not who was a Leicester City fan?
Right.
So people like you're doing right now will bring up the Leicester City tweets when I was like, yo, I didn't watch a single game. I didn't even know how to watch Premier League back then. I was just messing around. Okay, fast forward a couple years later, Molly and her friend Patty Pimblett are in this like thing. Patty's the Liverpool fan. Molly's the Everton fan. So Molly says like, you need to join our team. It's the Battle of Liverpool. I don't even know where Everton is. I think Everton's a city. So I'm like, all right, Molly, like I'll choose your side. You're giving me the better pitch. She goes a step further and the Everton club sends me a jersey, sends me a mug, sends me this, sends me that. And so I'm on the show being like, hey, thanks guys. Never watched a match, didn't know a single player, didn't follow them. I would mess around with people and call like Wayne Rooney an Everton legend. I know he's a Man United legend, but that was my shtick, right? Molly and I had a falling out. We had a falling out.
Aww.
Molly doesn't come on my show. Now, Molly and I are great now, But it was because really her manager, and it's a whole thing that you guys aren't really like, it's very boring. But we had a falling out. So on my show, again, this is why it's good to ask these questions and context matters. I said, I am going to declare myself, because my relationship with Molly has severed, my allegiance to this team that I joined for her. Then we're now up. You don't come on my show, I don't support your team. I now want to go all in. I want to immerse myself in this. Why? Because my boys, Oliver and Walter, are hardcore soccer fans. Like, they could tell you like the backup to the backup of like the Birmingham City goalkeeper. Like, they love football, right? They adore it. And so like, I want a team too. Now my oldest son, is a bit of a bandwagoner. I tell him this all the time. He picks Man City. Now he claims like he just picked them because he liked the logo, but we all know it's like no one's picking Man City. That's like being a Bulls fan in the 90s. You're not picking the Bulls. But that's fine. My middle son and I, we like to do things a little harder. And we said, all right, we looked through everything. We looked at the history. We looked at who had just been promoted. People call me you're not a bandwagoner if you choose Nottingham Forest. Right. The last 2 seasons, we've been this close to getting relegated. Last year, we get docked 4 points. We're like teetering along with
you're
Everton
light.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I love the history. I love the fan base. I love the logo. I love the players. I fell in love with Brennan Johnson, Morgan Gibbs-White, those guys. And so I said, all right, Nottingham Forest is my team. Now I say this to you, and you could believe me or not, I have fallen in love with Nottingham Forest. I watch every single match. I follow them. I listen to these really, I don't want to call them amateur, but like these podcasts that I tell people I go on YouTube channels. I'm in the chat. I am all in. I adore it. For some reason, something clicked that first season, and I think it was because it was the first time I was able to connect with my kids on a sport and on a team. I fell in love with them, and this is genuine. And so, yes, there are fans who are like, "What about that? What about that?" People just like you bringing up that. That wasn't genuine. That was a bit, as you comedians would say.
Fully
this
aware.
is genuine.
I'll be honest. It still feels like watching your ex talk about how
there's
great
no
the
ex.
sex is.
I had
with
no
the
allegiances. I didn't watch a second.
with the new
I
boyfriend.
appreciate the fact that the Everton fans are such a sad sack bunch of people that they feel slighted by the fact that I was once on your team and that was great for your street cred and now I'm not. I appreciate that. That's a compliment.
I know that
but
you're
the
coming
truth
at me
is,
with a lot
I'm
of
now seeing someone else.
sarcasm, but thank you. That feels good. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that
I'm
you
now
care
seeing
to that
someone
degree.
else.
Yes.
And I couldn't be happier. They treat me well. They're a fun team to support. They're not all in their feelings, and it's been a nice 2-year courtship, and long may it continue.
Well,
does that make sense?
Hold on. I hope what happens to you is what happened to me, which is I sat next to Molly in the stands at Goodison. I made the mistake of making her laugh. And I don't know if you know this, when you make her laugh, she punches you in the arm.
Oh,
But
no.
she is
Molly and I are
an
good.
MMA fighter. And when she punches you in the arm, it's not hey, that was a funny bit. It's, I think I might have just broken my upper. Whatever is the bone below my bicep, I think it's now broken. My arm
Molly and I are
femur
good.
is shattered.
I do think it's so funny. I was thinking about this recently. There's a promoter, a British promoter named Eddie Hearn. He's very famous.
Yeah.
He's the
I know
sort
him
of
from the
Dana White of
memes.
Matchroom. What's up?
I know him from the countless memes of everything he's ever said.
Exactly. Yes, there's a Twitter page called No Context Hearn. That's great. And it's so funny because he was doing an interview recently and he was wearing an LA Dodgers hat. And I was talking to a friend of mine in Ireland. He's Irish. And I was like, this is so interesting because I get this with the Nottingham Forest stuff, just like this right now. And there's not a single baseball fan or even an American on the planet who I think would see that and be like, how dare you wear that LA Dodgers hat? Were you there in 1988 when Kirk Gibson hit a home run? Do you watch every game? Do you know about Vince Scully? How could you wear that? Pick a team. You can't be a plastic fan, blah, blah, blah. But for some reason, when it comes to soccer, it's this tribal thing where you have to live and die. And how dare you pick a squad? And how dare you fall in love with something? Why does it have to be so serious? Let people root for whatever the hell they want to root for. And trust me, I live and die with sad sack teams my whole life. I've never seen the Bills win, the Knicks win, the Expos don't exist. I get it, but who cares who jumps ship? Who cares who is a turncoat? Who gives a crap?
A bunch of very
less.
dangerous Brits. That's who.
Yeah. But I don't care.
I've walked around, either through Liverpool or just, when Everton plays here in the U.S. It's just like the bond that has been created with these
They're
people.
all broken, dude. I woke up to them and be like, yo, Arsenal's going to win today. They're like, yeah, we know. This isn't the banter I was looking for.
It's not healthy. Nobody's saying
No.
I'm not necessarily defending.
And look, I don't have any animosity. Truly, I don't. I have an affinity because of the connection, if you want to call it, and the club was nice to send me that stuff. And so it's weird when I get this pushback. Funny enough, I was just in England a couple of weeks ago, and I took my kids to Spurs Everton, as fate would have it, and Spurs won 4-0 that day.
That was brutal,
which was I didn't take any joy in that, but I will say, as an aside, man, Pickford is a tough guy to root for because you notice things that you obviously don't notice on television. He is an awful teammate. Like the whole time, I don't know if this comes across, you watch the games more than I do. He is the entire time blaming his teammates, doing a big show with his hands, yelling at people, pointing at them. That's not a good vibe, man.
How would you
He's
feel
gotta
being
change-
the goalkeeper behind that back line?
I mean, he's
I
kind of
guess,
nuts
golly.
too. Everybody sort of understands that. I mean, it's why he's England's number one as well. He's just, I think he's willing to risk it all and put his sort of life and limb on the line to make certain stops. And I think that's what people appreciate. But yeah, when Everton are doing well, it's most of the time because of Pickford. That he had to make very, very important saves. But speaking of goalkeepers and Nottingham Forest, one of the things I can't forgive Nottingham Forest for is how they treated Matt Turner, bro.
But he's Canadian. He don't care about that.
Nah, bro.
Nah, hey,
USMNT.
I'm Canadian and American. I'm a Can-Am guy.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So half
what do
of
you
you
mean
was
how
offended.
they treated him? Well, what do you mean how they treated him? Like, I love Matt Turner. He seems like a great guy, great family man, but like he wasn't exactly awesome.
He made a couple mistakes, but the goalkeepers that followed him, did they
Who's the
make
French
any
guy
less?
that starts with the S?
Sells.
Matt
Sells.
Sells, Belgium.
Yeah. Oh, Belgium. My bad.
He's been way better. Sells has been way better.
He
Way
made
better
mistakes too.
Is a stretch.
I just
but-
think it's anti-American bias
No.
from the Brits.
I mean, we had Gio Reyna for a cup of coffee, and he didn't really play. That was a weird one
That
too.
was-
Bro,
yeah.
people still think I had inside information. I said on the morning show I do on CBS, I was like, well, George Mendes is his owner, is his agent. He's clearly going to go to Nuno Espirito Santo team. And people are like, how did you know? Because everyone's like, bro, you're crazy. And I was like, I just put two and two together. He was going to go there. And everyone's
Great
like,
job.
oh, so you think this is a good move? I'm like, oh, no, I think it's a bad move. I don't think he's even going to play there. I can't
Yeah.
believe he couldn't even get a cup of tea at that fucking team, man.
I know that was weird. I mean, there are a couple guys, but like he would come in for like 2 minutes. Like, what's the point of that?
Yeah,
You know
what are
what
you
I
going to
mean?
learn about a guy?
Right.
Exactly. I do want to make sure I ask about. Look, it's exciting to have you essentially as a co-worker here at Yahoo.
Another
man.
Knicks fan in the house.
Another
huh?
Knicks
Yeah.
fans,
Okay.
so
We agree on something.
Let's go,
That's
baby.
where we come on.
right.
I'm
Knicks
from,
in 6.
I'm
bro.
from originally from Brooklyn, so Knicks all day. We have.
Oh, why aren't you a Nets fan?
What are we
Have you
talking
turned your
about?
back on your borough? What's up with
Bro,
that?
I used to walk by where the Barclays is, and it wasn't. It
was like
Listen,
shoddy
you're from
home.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, it was just like not.
You seem like a Brooklyn turncoat, if you ask me.
dog, Knicks all
Brooklyn
day.
Benedict.
Damn, are you saying Christian is pulling an Ariel Helwani, bro?
I would
Yeah.
have become a Nets fan. That would have been crazy. But no, there's an exciting thing next week. You're
Yes.
going to be doing a live show in Vegas. So please tell us a little bit about it.
Thank you for that. Yes, September 13th at the Venetian. So I came over to Yahoo just a couple of weeks ago, and we're going to do my show, the Ariel Helwani show, and then we're going to be doing other shows, and we're starting this combat vertical, if you will, a combat hub called Uncrowned. Because that's who I am. I'm the uncrowned champ. I don't need to walk around with the crown. I'm the people's champion. Okay, even though
Facts.
you Everton fans are trying to kick me in the below the equator, I'm one with the people. All right, I'm the king of the streets. I'm the king of combat sports media, and so I don't need the physical crown. That's why I'm uncrowned. Anyway, so we do this show, and it's going to launch in October, but. We have this opportunity because next weekend is a massive weekend in Las Vegas where the UFC is holding a huge event at the Sphere, that new venue.
Yeah.
You've seen it, yeah.
Owned by the same
And
owner as
all-
the Knicks, unfortunately.
Exactly. Yes. Shout out to Jimmy. And then on the same night, like a mile away down the strip at the T-Mobile Arena, is Canelo versus Berlanga. And so they're going toe-to-toe, which is very rare. They don't usually go toe-to-toe like this. And so we're going to do a show on September 13th, the night before, at the Venetian, right next to the Yahoo Sports Sportsbook, or the Yahoo Sportsbook. And fans are invited. And it's going to air on my YouTube channel, the Ariel Helwani YouTube channel, and guests will be there, and also on yahoosports.com. And it will be sort of like a soft launch, a celebration of sorts of how we got here, and then the real show will start on October 14th. What they haven't told you is I'm also the host of the new soccer show. So tomorrow is actually your last day. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
You're good. Good to know. This is
and Matt Turner's my co-host because he's out of a job now. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, please.
This is our exit interview.
Yeah. No, shout out to
to
Crystal Palace getting our sloppy seconds there with Matt Turner and Dean Henderson.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. It's going to be difficult to bump Dean Henderson. He's a very, very.
I
good
like Dean.
goalkeeper.
I miss Dean Henderson. I wish we kept him.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say we 2 years in, or is that presumptuous?
Okay.
Buddy.
I mean, you do speak French, so I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's
I
a
say
good one.
say it until 2 years later when you become a Crystal Palace fan.
That's right. That's right. No, I got to tell you, Spurs treated me well. There was a part of me that was like, this is nice.
Oh,
This new stadium,
Look
you
at
know?
that.
Hey, dude, the beer does come from the bottom of the cup. It's really
Yeah.
impressive.
That's true. That's true.
The other thing one of the things that I almost admire you for is that you are one of the best people to sort of watch go through a beef with anybody.
This is my favorite part because I consider myself very beef adjacent. You know?
Okay, yeah, and generally,
I'm a fan of just standing 10 toes regardless of who's in your way. And that's you.
We definitely. I think we're good behind the scenes handling beef, but there's something about the way we do. I think the nature of maybe the soccer world and even journalism. I wouldn't necessarily call ourselves journalists, but the nature
We get lumped in sometimes.
we get lumped in, but we're comedians who talk about soccer, but we also work with clubs and work with leagues, and there's a little bit of like, we can't be going too crazy because we might piss some
Christian
people
has
off.
stopped me many times in this journey since 2015.
So I'm
We've
like-
had to delete parts of podcast episodes where I
You
rip
got to go
people
live.
apart.
You just got to let it flow. Go live.
Right. So, but
You, on the other hand,
but I love, and it's not just that you're not just like a screaming head about certain things. You're a man of principle, and that's one thing I really appreciate. So I've seen you talk about this a lot. So I remember you had talked about it on Levitar's show. You had a very long conversation about it. But really the beef with Dana White, right? And it's something to. Where I think a lot of people who work in media can learn of how to navigate working with either a difficult, problematic people, allowing yourself to fairly criticize, advocate for fighters, and things like that, and also maintain the professional sort of, credential that you need to really just do the job. So as far as navigating through that stuff and through the positivity, through definitely a lot of negativity, what's the I don't even know exactly the question I'm asking, but almost like,
how'd you do it?
how do you manage going through all that?
Well, I certainly don't seek it. I don't want it. Honestly, I'd much prefer to have a drama-free or beef-free life. I do feel like, sometimes people are going to disagree, and sometimes that's a sign that you're doing things right. If people disagree with you, I would love if I lived in a world where you can have a disagreement and then say like, all right, we agree to disagree and we can move on and be professional and civil and cordial. I cover a sport that's a bit of a wild west, right? And there's a lot of testosterone and there's a lot of ego, and it's a little newer, right? I mean, like the UFC only started in 1993, so it's a little newer, and there aren't certain like standards. Like you can't necessarily ban a journalist in the NBA or because there's the Basketball Writers Association and there's the Baseball Writers Association, but we don't really have those things in mixed martial arts, and so. I will just say, like, I'm at peace with anything that he is mad at me about, and it's typically just my coverage. My coverage is never unfair. My coverage is never like personal or below the belt. I don't call him names. Honestly, my coverage is 95% positive. Like I'm saying like, oh, this fight, I can't wait for that, or this fighter, I can't wait for this, da-da-da. But then there's times where it's like, yeah, I think this guy deserves more. Or I think this should be handled better. Or this should be promoted in a different way. And that's just like sports talk fodder, right? That's like what I grew up with. That's what everyone grew up with. And he believes that it should all be positive. And so we agree to disagree on that. And so whatever he may say that he doesn't like about me or disagrees with me, I'm at peace with. Like there is no, sometimes people ask me like, okay, so what's the real story? I'm like, you know the real story. There is no real story. He just doesn't like my coverage. By the way, there was a time where he adored my coverage. Like for 9 years, he would give me all kinds of interviews and all kinds of access, all kinds of news. And then it just it took a left turn. And so, it's just one of those things, but I would much prefer not to have it. We've tried to like mend the fences and there was just no interest, and that's fine. And people ask me like, what's the state of the relationship? There is no relationship, and that's fine as well. As long as I could do my job, which I clearly can, and he obviously does his thing, which he clearly does, we're fine. Like there's no, I can't sit here and complain about anything because A, they don't preclude me from doing anything, and B, I don't live in their orbit. Like when I was at ESPN, and ESPN was a broadcast partner of the UFC, there were roadblocks put in my way because of their business relationship.
Right.
No one who I work with now has a business relationship with them, so they can't put any roadblocks in my way, and that has made my life a lot nicer. So there's nothing really to like bellyache about or be upset about because it's just kind of a non-existent thing in my life. I hope that makes sense.
No, totally.
Watch him buy Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Oh, Dana? Damn. That would be crazy. Nah, I love the Marinakis family. They're awesome.
Yeah.
They've done great things. We had a nice little transfer window there. Picked up some nice names, right? James Ward-Prowse, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, that's an
What about
interesting
Morgan
one.
Gibbs-White getting on England for the first time? That's my guy.
Yeah,
MG
only buy
Dub.
people with 3 names. Anyone who sounds like a law firm.
Yeah. I feel good, man. Unbeaten in the first 3 games. How's Everton doing, by the way?
Beaten in the first 3 games.
Yeah, quite beaten.
Anyway, you're an Arsenal fan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, listen, being the bridesmaid is not bad.
Hey.
It's not bad.
At least I know,
You know?
I'm going to the party. You know?
Yeah, no, it's not bad.
I don't have to wait. You know what I mean?
How many Champions League?
That we've won or we've been to?
No, one.
Yeah, no, that's still 0. Yeah. Kind of like,
Yeah.
How many times you've won the Premier League.
Now
Recently.
listen. There it is. We got those
little
2
caveat.
stars.
Wait
Right?
for
You know those 2 stars, right?
Wait for the
You know
pregnant
those 2
pause, my
stars.
friend. Wait for the
Where were
pregnant
you?
pause.
Where were you in the Brian Clough era? Where were you?
How are you said you grew up playing soccer. How are your soccer skills?
I'll tell you what. I grew up like 8, 9, 10, but like my thing was basketball in high school. That's what I adored. I had a dream that I would be a basketball player, an NBA player. Obviously, it didn't come to fruition. There's nothing that gives me greater joy than watching my kids play soccer now. Like you tell me on a Saturday at the park near our house, they play on a travel team. Watching my boys play. Now my daughter's getting into it. She's 7. Give me that over any arena on a Saturday night in Las Vegas or anywhere in the world where a big fight. Like I am crushed when I have to miss a game.
Wow.
And
That's
I
a
try to go to
beautiful
every
thing.
practice too. And I don't say a word. I don't know anything in terms of technique. There are some other dads. There's like one from England. He's like telling me all this stuff. Like they should be doing this and that. I just take so much joy. I don't know. Are you guys parents? Do you have
I
kids?
have a 17-month-old son.
Okay. God
No,
bless.
I'm
And-
the pullout king.
Also uncrowned.
Yeah, shout out. Shout out. I would just say there's nothing that gives me greater joy than watching them play sports because like I feel like I'm getting to watch myself, but they're so much better than I was, especially in this particular sport, that it gives me tremendous joy. So like, yeah, I suck, but it's just so much.
Your kid clearly plays on a better team than my nephew did. I went to my nephew's game in Jersey. My sister moved to Clifton, New Jersey, and I went to go see his game, and it was a sea of parents yelling, "Kick it." For what I think was like 60 minutes. It was just unbearable. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
it's a water break. Kick what, bro?
Well, when they're young, they're like a swarm of bees, and they just all like travel around for the ball. But now we've graduated to a point where I'm like, I can't believe you're 10 and you're doing this. It's wild to me. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. And it's like pouring rain, and they're still playing, and they don't complain. It's super fun. So, I'd like to think that I'm building the next great, American superstar. So just hold on. I know, by the way, America sucks right now as far as soccer. It didn't make it to the semifinals like Canada and the Copa America. No big deal. I was there against Argentina. It was great. And you don't have a coach as of right now, but it sounds like you're about to get a coach. Just hold on another 10, 15 years and the Helwani boys are coming.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
They're going to play for America?
I mean, listen, if you need us, the price is right. The price is
This
right.
is what I'm talking about. All right, third party
Yeah.
ownership. I'll be part of your agent.
Incredible. I mean, my 17-month-old is not fully aware of like that he can can kick the ball. He's doing throw-ins though. He's picking it up
Love it.
and tossing it. So that we're
Are you
going to
make him be an Everton fan? That's borderline abuse. So what are we
No,
thinking?
it is. It's not abuse. It's called tradition. Ariel. Okay.
Like when my mother hit me with a flip flop.
Yeah.
Tradition. Not
when he
abuse.
was born last year, Everton had it was like the match before the final game where they were saved, and so I have a probably 2-month-old, and we have him in the living room to watch him as he sleeps and stuff like that. And then Everton score the goal and they win the game, and I cheer and celebrate and I wake the baby. And my wife is recording me as this happens. So she's like happy that Everton are staying up and I'll be in a good mood, but also like you woke up the damn baby. So we'll always have that.
I remember that
memory.
was intense, man. I can't imagine the feelings of like the long, because I think they've never been relegated, right?
They never have, not
Never
from the
have.
Premier League.
But damn, they've gotten close the last 3 years.
Okay.
Man. And isn't there a new stadium coming very soon?
Next year, hopefully it's not in the championship.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
We shall see. Ariel, dude, this has been amazing. September 13th, live show at the Venetian. Go if you're in Vegas and you're gonna go to the UFC event, go to Ariel's show.
When are you
Thank
doing
you.
a show in New York? Live event in New York.
Oh yeah, we did one in November. It was awesome at the City Winery.
Great
We've done
space.
stand up there.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that place was sick. So that was right next to, like, it was right around the time that the UFC was back at MSG. So maybe we'll do it in November. They come every November. But I want to propose something. What like, who do you think will finish higher, Everton or Forest?
Everton.
Okay, so obviously I think Forest.
Yeah.
What's on the table here?
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. This is gonna be tough.
You can mull it over, but I'm telling you, I know this for a fact that we finish higher. I think you're going to get relegated. That's my personal opinion. No hard feelings. So if you'd like to propose something, I'm game.
Who do you think is going to finish higher, Arsenal or Forest?
That's not on the table right now. That's not on the table. We're not talking about that.
We gotta
all right?
We got to have an inner show bet, bro.
We
Yeah.
have to have. I was hard. I mean, I guess we can. I don't want to take up too much time
Oh,
thinking about
okay.
it, but we'll.
Wow, you sound very confident.
No. I'm quite confident. No,
Okay.
I don't.
We just got to figure out the
Everton.
bet.
It's just a couple. We have a couple injuries. Branthwaite is hurt. Once he gets back,
Sure.
we're good to go. Okay, and we'll catch up to Forest.
I don't know if you could catch this on camera, but a single tear dropped from his
Yeah, no.
eye. And he
Listen,
said we're good
Frank
to go.
Lampard isn't walking through that door, all right? So
Oh, really? Okay.
ain't happening.
I hope he's not, actually.
Actually, Dana White's here. No.
So, all right, we'll think about something.
No
and
problem.
so everybody, maybe we'll
let our fans
on
let us know.
Twitter
The people
and
can chime in.
Instagram.
Yeah, no problem.
Please comment. Let us know what you think the inter-show bet should be.
I like this.
We'll see. Maybe if it's like if Everton win, then Ariel has to take a punch from Meatball Molly. Or
oh
something
my
like
God, I don't want. I
With,
want
like,
nothing to
padding
do
or
with
something.
that. I want nothing to do with that.
Just my mind's going to a crazy place.
Yeah.
No,
but
I get it.
We'll figure that out. The Ariel Helwani show on
Thank you,
Yahoo
guys.
Sports in
it
October.
premieres soon.
Soon in
Cannot
It
October.
premieres soon in October, but we got the celebration in Vegas on September 13th. If you're in Vegas, come hang. If not, watch it on the YouTube channel.
Exactly.
So dope.
So dope.
Thanks, guys.
Happy to have you on board, and great to finally meet and resolve our beefs.
I hope we did.
amicably.
I'm not sure. I'm still undecided, but I hope we
Thanks
did.
so much, brother.
Thanks, guys.
Shout out to Ariel Helwani
Yo.
again, crushing it.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming
Incredible.
through. Glad we could squash, any issues, disagreements that we may
Yeah,
have
man,
had.
it's all over. It's all in the past.
Exactly.
We'll never forget it, but we can find a way to forgive.
Well, we'll figure out at the end of the season what we'll see what ends up happening. What is the bet? So again, tweet at us at Soccer Cooligans or message on Instagram or whatever.
DM us, tag us, whatever.
Do whatever. Let us know. Why do you think the bet should be between Everton and Nottingham Forest? Christian Polanco, Ariel Helwani, who finishes on top first? It sounds like very pause-worthy.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean.
All right, and then after that, I guess we'll figure out how the league breaks down.
So who finishes above the other team? We'll see how that goes. So let us know. We'll come up with some ideas and then we'll figure it out as the season goes along. All right. Let's do a fun, exciting new segment, Rápido Reactions. I don't know if we've said the name before, but that's what
This
it
is new.
Okay, we have to. There's a lot of topics that we have to round out the show with and make sure we get them all in. We have 90 seconds to talk about each one. Our producer Carter will be hitting the bell when we are done with each one. So, producer Carter, let us know.
All right, here's your first one. Your reaction to Manchester United's 3-0 loss to Liverpool.
Ha! That's my immediate reaction.
Just
Bro. You took a L at home.
not a shock after what is
No, I think the domination that Liverpool showed was a shock. What was also a shock is the way Erik ten Hag handled that press conference at the end. The guy's like, yo, what about all your mistakes? He's like, oh, yeah, you tell me the mistakes. And the guy's like, okay. And he
I got a list right here.
Yeah, I was glad you asked, actually. I didn't think this was a give and take and repeat here.
Oh, you like my PowerPoint presentation on all your mistakes?
It's called Erik ten Hag Mistakes. Bro, and then Erik ten Hag was like, oh, yeah, well, second most amount of trophies. Sorry for you.
Yeah. No, he's sounding... he sounds like he is drowning in just the despair. I wasn't shocked at the result. Casemiro, it's so wild that you saw his wife. What she did, she had tweeted out,
looked away.
His wife tweeted out just a picture of all of Casemiro's trophies,
right?
And just that, and it's just like, all right, I get that, but
you got to defend your man, but maybe you sit this out. You know what I mean?
He's looking terrible,
right?
The two of the goals are his fault,
both of them, yeah. Two of the three,
yeah. It's just brutal. So I don't know what it is.
Rough.
Is it the team? Is it he's not playing with the same players that he was at Real Madrid? He's making terrible mistakes.
Well, you can watch from the bench.
All right.
Next here, your reaction to the Declan Rice red card versus Brighton.
Okay, this Twitter I tweeted out, I thought this was a ridiculous call. Everybody came out after, at the Cooligans
assuming it was me.
Assuming it was you. But I assumed you probably felt the same way.
Bruh, the ball was moving.
The ball was moving. What are you talking about? Guy interfered with the start of play.
The play hasn't even started. The ball moving. The other guy can't kick the ball while it's moving anyway.
And you know what the guy's doing. He's kicking the ball into Declan Rice.
He took out a free kick on my goddamn Rice. And somebody swipe at my Rice. You know what I do as a Latino, bro? I'm going to fork you, bro. I'm going to jam you with that fork, man.
You getting forked up.
You come over here. I'm going to fork you as hard as I can.
Okay. And that's on God, bro. No, man, it was a terrible call. I don't even understand.
It's stupid, bro.
People are like, letter of the law. He had a yellow.
The ball was still moving.
The ball was moving. It was pure shithousery.
You know what I say to you? Zero ball knowledge. I say that back to you.
Should he have kicked the ball? Probably not.
Also, did he really kick it? He just tapped it with his foot while it was still moving,
understand. Now all of a sudden people are like, oh, well,
what about homie in the first half yeeted it into the row Z?
Everybody's like, no, but dude, the book says that we should. This is you now? Yeah. This is who you want to be?
Bro, I always knew you was a nerd like that, bro.
What are we doing?
You a cop. Dork. Federale.
What's next?
Next, Everton's shambolic loss to Bournemouth down up 2-0.
Okay, I mean, what a roller coaster just dropped into motion.
So what you want to say about this one, Christian?
I mean, look, this is what can be said. Up 2-0. Everton,
I feel like we need the sad adopt this puppy music.
Everton up 2-0. Literally
spend all your time waiting.
By the 85th minute, I'm like, yo, we lost our first two. We got humiliated. Gonna be nice to get this clean sheet. Turn things around.
3 points up.
3 points. We out here.
Yeah, off the bottom of the table.
Okay. I'm out here looking. I'm doing the mellow 3 points.
Ice in the veins. You feel me?
We good.
Yo, Caitlin Clark, Sabrina Ionescu type.
Ice cold.
Swish.
And, bro, I can't even.
You look at that wifey like, yo, get the reservation at the nicest restaurant in this here neighborhood because we have 3 points.
I know I ain't making money with this, but we rich right now, babe.
3 points.
This was Sean Dyche made a couple substitutions that were clearly
They're
Wrong.
more like dubstitutions.
Damn, bro. Okay.
'Cause, yo, you was
Damn, dog. You didn't have to go that hard at him.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry to the Deitch family who might have heard that. Bro. By the way, the New York version of dub, which is a loss.
That's right. That's right. And no, it was embarrassing. It was, I think, shameful from even Everton's low standards that I think we have for this team. So
Bro.
brutal.
Rock bottom just got Rocky Bottomer.
Okay, what's next?
All right, next here we've got Rafa Leao responding to Paulo Di Canio.
Okay,
Bro.
I've now learned who this guy is. I didn't know who Paulo Di Canio was.
I know who he was because he used to do some wild goal celebrations.
Okay.
He may have a checkered search history. Okay.
So the
Let's
context.
say him and Anuel AA may be on the
Anuel,
same page.
bro, I didn't
unfollowed him, by the
I
way.
expected nothing from you, but I got even less.
Yo, I thought, but my expectation was so low, and somehow you dug a ditch underneath it.
Well, no, this is about Leao. No.
Sorry, we just
Anuel.
Yeah. I believed in you, Anuel.
Ridiculous.
Bro.
So the context here is Rafa Leao during one of the games in the water break, him and Teo Hernandez did not
Who were
go.
subbed in at the end of the match. They were unhappy about it. They didn't go with the rest of the team. They stayed on the other side of the pitch, dog.
Yeah.
Little bit of a sign like, hey, yo, we ain't really messing with
Exactly.
this
So
phone sucker
during
guy.
they didn't
More
participate.
like a phone sucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, more like that. Exactly. We don't have a lot of time. We don't have a lot of time. Why this?
I got pissed.
Why this? So they don't participate in the huddle, and then this.
Paulo Di Canio came out and was mad disrespectful.
Yeah, about Leao.
He
and,
said
and
that they should be dealt with by the rest of the team.
Leao just responds with one tweet with an image
Receipts, if you will.
of what's his name? Di Canio?
Di Canio.
Of him just flashing a Nazi salute at a game.
Which is how he would celebrate goals.
Yeah, not great.
That's what he would, at the end of the match, he would say to the more right-wing fan base,
You got it.
I'm with you.
You're gonna have to zip it up.
Yeah.
There's not much criticism happening when
No one
when
ever
you-
brings it back up, but Rafael Leao did.
Let's go. All right, what's next?
Next, the new Inter Miami Stadium has been announced.
Let's go, bro.
Bro, same year as New York City FC's new stadium, 2026.
No, that's NYCFC's 2027.
2027. Oh, they're going to beat us
They're
by
gonna
a
beat
year?
us by a year, dog.
Bro, it's Miami. You ain't getting that done, bro.
No.
Only a Miami person would say, yo, I'll be there in an hour and then show up in 3. So this thing's going to be built by 2028.
No, so this is exciting. I mean, if they get it done, obviously the rush is to get it done before Messi retires. So they're doing everything. Like, they got the stadium built, have him play one season, set the tone.
Even if it's like 10 games.
Even whatever it is, that we can see clearly. Like that's the plan. That's
it's going
why
to be near the airport.
Downtown Miami as opposed to Fort Lauderdale right now. Look, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit jealous, but
It's beautiful looking.
I'm excited that Miami's gonna have their stadium. NYCFC. There's gonna be fewer and fewer. As we go on with Major League Soccer, there's gonna be fewer and fewer stadiums.
New England's
Right? Yeah, New England. That was also talked
supposed
about.
to be, but didn't happen.
Yeah, it's something like
Got voted down.
Fell through. But this looks exciting, and that's really the talking point. Is Messi gonna play in that stadium? I understand. It is very exciting for the future of football in Miami.
Sheer amount of money that this league and Apple will figure out.
It's
to get
gonna
him to
be
play in
a
the stadium.
joke.
It's
How
gonna
much
be nuts.
money?
I don't know how many seats it's gonna be, but it ain't enough.
Without a doubt. All right. Is that it?
One more.
Oh,
We
one
more, baby.
We got one more here. It's Atlanta United have parted ways with their technical director, Carlos Bocanegra. Your reaction?
Yes.
Damn.
This is probably for a lot of people kind of long overdue.
Long overdue. There was
Atlanta-
a lot of Bocanegra out for a long time.
Yeah, because they just really from their inaugural year, and then they end up winning MLS Cup the following year.
The vibes in 2018, bro.
Well, we were at that MLS Cup final.
The vibes were crazy. Like, yo, they figured it out, bro. They solved MLS. Remember that?
Tata, Miguel Almiron.
You ever see the first person who did a Rubik's Cube? Oh, fuck, and it's done. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
You
yeah.
ever see that live and you were just like, yo, how'd you figure that out, bro? I've been over here tam and gam this whole time. And you boom, 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 boom. That's what we thought. And it fell apart, bro.
It did fall apart.
The vibes are crazy low.
But it does show how quickly MLS changes from year to year. You know what I mean? You watch the Premier League and Manchester City, they have
consistency.
Consistency works, and nobody can figure out how to beat
Liverpool
them
for decades.
But there's something about MLS, so it's like you don't have to figure out how to beat one team. You have to figure out how to beat Don Garber. You know what I mean? Like, what's he gonna do? The algorithm. How do we figure out how to defeat the?
And they keep changing it up.
Jay Garber is always mixing things up. So it felt like Bocanegra couldn't adapt to that. I don't know if it had anything to do with
Darren Neal's leaving. Probably was a big part of that.
Darren Neal's leaving, and just figuring out, like, again, transfers, who to bring in. They have not had players to the same adoration. I mean, it was Almirón, Joseph Martinez,
LPG,
Hector. Villalba, Tito Villalba.
Tito Villalba.
There was another
Hector
one.
Lavoe was out there, bro. There's so many Latinos.
Willy Colon, it was crazy.
Tito Puente scored a couple goals.
Legends of Atlanta.
Yo, everybody remembers them.
All right, another Rápido Reactions in the book. Well, don't worry, later on we're gonna have music and graphics and a whole thing. But we got the foundation down. I think we're good there. All right. Again, shout out to Ariel Helwani for joining us. Make sure you follow Ariel as well on all socials.
And congratulations on the show coming over to
bro. It's a look. I didn't even. We don't follow him from the Cooligans guy. They're following from my personal. But it's official.
Something's going on with Instagram where it seems like a lot of people getting unfollowed randomly.
It's kind of You saw it, right?
Some of the stuff I pulled up, I'm like, I've literally been listening to this guy talk to me on videos for days.
I've been noticing that too. It's just randomly unfollow like friends and people that we know and stuff like that. So it's like, but you got because etiquette nowadays. If you don't follow somebody that you're friends with, it's like you can. It's
when
like
that
friendship
notification comes through. It's like, oh now.
now.
What will happen today? What did I do to earn the graces of you, great Lord?
You can't. They gotta fix it. You're gonna ruin families and friendships.
You gotta do man. I don't know how that happened. I thought I'd been following. You gotta send the. You gotta send the message.
Do that. Yo, I got hacked. I think I don't know what's going on.
Identity theft, bro.
Okay,
a phishing scam, bro. I thought that Nigerian prince had my back.
So yeah, give him a follow. Make sure you follow us at Soccer Cooligans on all socials as well. Subscribe on YouTube. A lot of exciting stuff. We got September's gonna be packed. We got a bunch of great guests. A lot of stuff.
It's gonna be crazy
coming through. So make sure you let a friend know.
It's getting cold outside, but it's staying hot on this podcast. You feel me?
Damn, bro. Okay, we got officially our new promo right there.
Damn bars, dog. We got bars up in this show, dog. You thought we was playing games?
So we'll be back on Monday with a new episode. And we have the NYC Footy guys are going to be on that day, so that's going to be a fun one. We got a nice, fun amateur soccer and adult soccer combo.
Yeah, but it's important for the future of the sport.
Exactly.
It's important for the future of the sport that you listen to it.
Okay, it is crucial to the future.
You want the U.S. to ever win a World Cup for the men's side? You better hit the subscribe button.
Exactly.
Hit all the buttons.
All right, so we'll be back on Monday. We'll see you then, everybody. Peace.
Love you guys.